So I recently just watched the Aquaman Lost Kingdom trailer, the official trailer. I was torn on whether to do a trailer reaction to it. As you could probably tell, I did not. Just from me saying that I already watched it, and it led me into a question that I've been having for a while for a few DC movies. It's a question that I would like to be answered, or to just I guess give my thoughts on it, and I will pose to you guys. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on it. Please comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts. But the question in hand is, are DC films dead? Yo, I know you were watching the video before. Don't worry, you're going to get back to that video. This is a quick intermission. I just want to let you guys know that my independent series, that's right, my series, Next Gen, is out. If you would like to read it, I would gladly appreciate you. You are the my number one fan. I can't believe it. Look at you. Look at you. All you got to do is go to enterhybrid.com. I'll put it, the link is down below, or it's on the screen. Either or, you got no other way to it. Head to enterhybrid.com. Start reading Next Gen. It's cheap. In fact, I think the prelude might be free. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe there's only one way to find out by you clicking the link. So, again, it's a series that I worked on. It's a series that it's my baby, basically. And getting any support for it would be absolutely astronomically a huge dub. So, yeah, head to enterhybrid.com, help your boy out. And with that being said, okay, go back to your other video. So far we've had, like, I want to say, like, 3 DC Comics movies. The Blue Beetle, Shazam 2, and, why am I forgetting one? I think there was another one. Why am I forgetting? What other DC movies came out? Oh, The Flash. What the fuck? How the fuck did I... That's right. It came to me in The Flash. So we had Blue Beetle, The Flash, and Shazam 2 come out this year so far, prior to Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. And very opinionated thoughts that the audiences have had in response to those 3 movies. Shazam 2, I kind of get it. It's more of a kids movie. I understand where people are coming from, but also I didn't get it because I felt like it just felt like a solid, like if it was in the Marvel universe, it felt like a solid Marvel movie. In if you put it in, I guess, that perspective, even though it's a DC movie, so I thought it was fine. But people didn't think it was fine. People didn't think it was as good as the first one, or just I don't know, maybe it just didn't meet their expectation. They just didn't think it was good, so that movie didn't do that much. Then you have Blue Beetle, and Blue Beetle was one of those movies that I absolutely loved. I may do a review on it if I watch it again. If that's something that you would like to see, be sure to let me know down in the comment section. But yeah, Blue Beetle also received some not so well reception. And I think it was on the hinge of The Flash, because The Flash did come before Blue Beetle, and a lot of people were kind of boycotting that movie before the movie actually really came out. And for reasons that I understand, actually, because of Ezra Miller, and so people just didn't want to support the movie. That being said, the reception of it when the movie, like a week before the movie came out, and then a week after the movie came out, was very... I want to say weird. It was the weirdest reception I think I've ever seen for a movie in general, because before the movie came out, a week before, everybody that watched it was hyping the movie up. Everybody kept saying, oh yeah, this movie's amazing. This movie's great. This movie's incredible. Oh my God. Yeah, they did it. They finally did it. The Flash. Oh my God. Good movie. Boom, boom. Like reviewers that I follow, like reviewers that I like trust, right? I'm a giant Flash fan. I love The Flash, and I'm excited. I was excited. I could put the Ezra Miller thing aside because it is what it is. It's just a movie. And like, you know, I don't know what was going on with his personal thing. I know about the articles. I know what happened, but I don't know the verdict. I don't know what exactly is in the process of that. So I don't really want to talk about the whole Ezra Miller situation. I really want to talk about the content, and within the content. It was weird because a week after The Flash, I got excited. Well, the week before, I got excited. I watched it. And then the week after, everybody started shitting on it. Everybody just started shitting on The Flash. And it's not even just... And what I mean by everybody is, I mean, all the people that were hyping this movie up the week before, all of a sudden started tweeting, yeah, actually, it wasn't as good as, like most people think. The CGI was... like, it wasn't as good. It wasn't as good as, like I thought. And it's like... Bro, why were you hyping? Like, how much money did DC pay you? And, like, why are you doing this? Like, It's like you gonna go on Twitter or X, whatever it's called, and then switch up real quick just because everybody says that the movie sucks. It was so weird to me. Everybody switched 180 as soon as the movie came out. It's like before the movie came out and before general audience receptions, everybody was like, yeah, this movie's fire. This movie's flames. And then the movie comes out, the general audience is like, Ezra Miller sucks. The CGI wasn't that good. And so all those people that reviewed it early the week before were like, yeah, you know what? Actually, yeah, this movie sucks. It was the weirdest. I don't know, man. I enjoyed The Flash. I feel like I'm an anomaly. All right. I enjoyed Shazam! Fury of the Gods, the first DC movie. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed The Flash. I did. I thought it was fine. CGI aside, I thought it was fine. I mean, we've had terrible CGI in Marvel movies, but ain't nobody bat an eye. Ain't nobody say shit. So you know what I mean? Like, this is on par with that bad CGI that I've seen in Marvel movies, and so I'm just like, I don't understand. I get it, but at the same time, I don't fully understand. But also, audiences are also coming around into the Marvel Cinematic Universe as well, and saying that they don't like those movies that much either. And so, superhero movies, just in general, right now, are in a weird sort of state where they're all getting put out, and they all sort of feel the same but different. And I think for the longest time now, recently, they've all just felt more of the same. And I blame Marvel for that because obviously Marvel had a machine going and then they just started producing movies that were the same. Like, I remember going out and watching Marvel movies, one here with my friends, one by myself, one here at home. And I was just like, bruh, they all the same. It's like McDonald's. You can't hate McDonald's. People still go out and buy McDonald's, but it's the formula because the formula works. But they're not the best burgers in the world. Ain't nobody gonna say McDonald's is the best burger. If you do, it's just because you like the price, you like it's cheap, and you like trash food. That is what it is. That's what the Marvel movies have come down to. That's what they are. They're just cookie cutter films. They're churned out by a machine, and they're fast food for movies. And it is what it is. And DC is trying to catch up. And in that, they have done things that are similar to Marvel movies. And you know, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but for the most part, I've enjoyed the movies that they have put out so far this year. Like I said, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, The Flash, I enjoyed them. Blue Beetle, I adored that movie. I loved that movie. I think Blue Beetle, again, like I was mentioning earlier, got the burnt, also like the SAG after strikes were happening. The actors couldn't come out and promote the Blue Beetle movie. There was like zero basically promotion for that movie. It was ridiculous. And the Blue Beetle just came out. It just came out. Nobody watched it because nobody knew that it came out, and they didn't promote it to Latino audiences as hard as I thought they were. Promotion was just whack. Promotion was just slow. Promotion was just bad. I think the movie was really good. I think it's the best DC movie that came out so far this year. Obviously, I'm going to be waiting to see Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom and seeing what that does. But so far for the year, Blue Beetle is my favorite DC movie. Like, it's up there for favorite superhero movies. The only other movie that I can think of live action is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 because that one was just great. That one was just great. But yeah, it was a solid DC movie and it just didn't produce. It didn't produce income, and so everybody considers it's a failure because it kind of is a failure, and it sucks because it's the first Latino led superhero movie where everybody was like, yeah, but it's the same shit. We've already seen this. And it's like, yes and no. It was you've never seen a Latino's lead and just in general Latino family in a movie like that before. And so for people to say, yeah, we've seen this already before, I'm like, no, you haven't. You've seen white people do it, but just because the white people do it and you're tired of it don't mean that we can't get a shot. And so I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird reception as well. Blue Beetle, I think, sort of broke. I don't know where the numbers are right now for Blue Beetle as far as like the box office. Obviously, I hope digitally it does a lot well, and home release, I hope people buy the Blu-ray. I love that movie. I think that movie is really good. It's a really solid first movie. I think it upon rewatch, I'm gonna like it even more. So I'm excited to rewatch it and hopefully do a review on it. But yeah, so far those are the three DC movies, and it begs the question, based on audience reception, based on the amount of money that came from those movies, are DC movies dead? Like, are they dead? It's a serious question to have. I mean, James Gunn, proposed his idea and is saying that he's coming out with a Superman movie that's going to basically retroactively create this new universe for the DC movies. But I'm not holding out my breath for that. I'm not going to lie. I'm not the biggest, I don't think James Gunn can... I think James Gunn can produce a good movie, but I don't know how I feel about him producing every movie. And I don't know if I can put my full trust in it. I just been burned before, and he's coming from Marvel. He's gonna come in and do the same thing that Marvel. Everybody says the Suicide Squad, that movie that he made, is the best DC movie ever made. I don't see it. I don't see that. I feel like upon watching that movie again, the chinks show up a little bit more. I think that movie is really well. It's one of the best for sure. And I think the tone of it is different, and I think it's a different type of superhero movie. But I don't think it's the best DC movie ever made. I respect the guy. I think he's done a hell of a job over at Marvel in doing and bringing Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think he can do a fine job. I do think that, but I'm not gonna not hold myself to what his words and think that just because like he's coming in and he's gonna be a Lord and Savior and he's gonna save the, like, I just felt like we're just in a weird time, man. And so obviously I had to ask that question because personally I feel like they're dying. I feel like they're kind of dying, considering the reception of these movies and considering that Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, the trailer just barely came out, and the movie's coming out what in like November or December. That's like 2-3 months away. Where was that trailer earlier in the year? Where was that trailer a while ago? Like, and like then you get reports and like articles saying that people watched early cuts of Aquaman and Lost Kingdom and didn't like it. Somebody walked out. It's hard to say what's gonna be real or what's not gonna be real, what's gonna be legit, what's not gonna be legit. Obviously, movies have rewrites, movies have reshoots, movies have things that to like fix those problems. And I trust James Wan because I loved the first Aquaman movie. But it's hard to say how much the studio meshed with Aquaman and Lost Kingdom and how much they changed after the Flash. How much it matters. I feel like the audiences as well, the ones that are trying to follow DC, that follow Marvel, are kind of lost as well. They just don't know where anything fits in the universe, and the only thing that's gonna fit is the Superman that James Gunn makes, and anything after that. But right now we're just in limbo. And I'm a huge DC Comics fan. I prefer DC Comics over Marvel Comics. I love both of them, but I prefer DC. And it's a bummer, man. It's a bummer seeing this happen to DC films because for the longest time I wanted to see the Flash in live action in movie format, and seeing the reception it got, seeing the way that it was turned out, I'm kind of disappointed in that sense. When you overall look at the general reception, the general sort of take back on these movies, it is kind of like, it's kind of sad, man. It's kind of sad. So I want to come on here and talk about it. I had so many thoughts within every single movie. I had so many thoughts. Obviously, Shazam! Fury of the Gods. I gave my thoughts there in a video. I'll link it at the end of this one. The Flash I never really talked about, but it did kind of irk me. It felt weird. It was just like I said earlier. It was just a weird, the reception, just weird. I don't like it when people say one thing and then change their opinion because of, popular demand, like because of general demand, like general audience. Like, if you like the movie, you like the movie. Why are you switching up because people say they don't like the movie? Like, that just seems like the wackest shit ever. So that did kind of bother me. Blue Beetle, I'm sad because I feel like that movie deserved to do a lot more than what it did. I felt like that movie had a lot of heart in it. That movie had so much in it that was so refreshing to see. It was so nice to see a Latino lead a movie like that. Xolo, he killed the show. He was really good as the Blue Beetle. He was just phenomenal, okay? And the movie turned out really good. I, at first, didn't know how I felt about the villain, but I feel like they did an okay job with it. I feel like it could have been a lot worse. And I think it was a contained movie that didn't have anything to do with anything, but people tried to bring in other stigmas from other superhero movies to play on it. And it's like, nah, just forget about those and go and watch the movie and enjoy it for what it is. And like, I think we're living in a day and age where that's hard to do. It's hard to do because everybody wants everything connected, but then those same people now are fatigued with everything that is connected, and they're like, there's too much. So we're in a weird time for superhero movies. DC films themselves, I mean, Marvel, at least they already have their universe established, so they can throw darts out now and it's whatever. But DC, they had something going for them, and now everything's in shambles. And so until James Gunn's Superman movie comes out, I do feel like so far DC movies have been dead.